Hello, offenders. Welcome back. Today is the big day. The big day, the most important summit. The most important summit in the history of the world ever, right? That's the way the media keeps playing up. It's the most important summit. When we know nothing will come of it, just a bunch of BS, as always. Seriously, it's just barely tongue-in-cheek that Putin would send a body double to meet with Donald Trump today. Note, not President Trump, Donald Trump. Donnie Dipstick, to meet with Donnie Dipstick today. And look, let's think about it, folks. Trump would not even know the difference. He wouldn't. Trump wouldn't know the difference. Because when Trump looks at anybody, he doesn't see that person. He sees himself, especially anybody who is supposed to be Vladimir Putin. He sees himself. He sees his own reflection, because that's all narcissists do. They see themselves. It's all about them, themselves. That's all they see. That's all they care about. So he wouldn't even notice. They could put a blow-up Putin in the room with Trump, like a blow-up doll of Putin in the room with Trump, and Trump would go on and on and on and on. And I heard yesterday that this meeting where they're supposed to be alone is supposed to be 4 hours. 4 hours. I mean, that's suicidal for Putin. Seriously. Despite his KGB training and his pedigree, that would be pure suicide. He would be psychologically impaired after having to spend 4 hours alone with Donald Trump in a room. Can you imagine? I couldn't. I know I'd be psychologically impaired. I cannot watch more than maybe a minute of one of these press conferences that, all these YouTube channels like to hang on with him. I can't spend more than a minute watching them because PTSD. I mean, it's not healthy. So surely Putin knows this. He's not stupid. He's not going to... You don't think he would subject himself to that, do you? It's worse than waterboarding. Think about it. 4 hours with Donald Trump will nearly kill you. It's worse than waterboarding. It is a form of torture. Why would Putin subject himself to that rather than just sending a double? So I think it's a double that's in Anchorage, Russia right now to meet Vladimir Putin. Yep, PTSD. Vladimir Putin would have PTSD after that. Anybody would. Who would want to spend 4 hours with that flatulent MFer, right? I mean, he's got gas coming out of his mouth, out of his ass, out of his ears, out of every orifice in his body. They actually had to create additional orifices for the gas to be able to be released. I don't know. Maybe he'll bring Ghislaine along, right? Maybe she'll be the new Secretary of Defense versus Hegseth, right? I think that'd be a good pick. I mean, anything goes now. I think Ghislaine would be a great pick. Or she could just be there for shits and giggles, right? She could arrange the young girls for the party afterwards, right? The 12-year-old girls, the barely pubescent 12-year-old girls. She could arrange that for Putin and Trump, right? I mean, we know that Putin is complicit with pedophilia at this point because he's embracing a pedophile in Donald Trump. And I'm going to get to that point in a second. We're gonna look at what John Bolton has to say about the meeting with Trump. None of the experts get this. It's amazing. All these experts, and none of them get what Putin is trying to accomplish here. Even Jake Bro doesn't get it. The Ukrainians don't get it. And it's simple. Vladimir Putin is a former KGB agent. He has surrounded himself with KGB agents. KGB agents rule and run Russia. And they are trained in the art. They were when they were the KGB. They are when they're the FSB. Trained in the art of mind fuckery, okay? They're mind fuckers. They gaslight people. So did the Stasi. They're gaslighters. So this is a gaslighting operation. It's a gaslighting event. He's gaslighting Biden and Obama and the Democrats. He's gaslighting NATO, the NATO leadership. He's gaslighting the European leadership. He knows that this gets their goat. That's why he's doing it. He's not going to strike any kind of deal with Trump. He knows that's not in the cards. Jake Bro's right about that. Any kind of developing mineral rights or whatever, that's all bullshit. Putin knows that. He's not stupid. Putin is intelligent. But he's evil and malevolent as well. He's a gaslighter. And he's gaslighting here. Pure and simple, that's all this is about. Now, ancillarily, does it buy more time? Yes, of course. Does it sow chaos? Yes, of course. All those ancillary things attach themselves to it. But first and foremost, he's gaslighting. Because why? Well, why not? That's what he was trained to do. The KGB, the FSB, they enjoy that. They get off on it. They're psychopaths, all right? They enjoy that. Anyway, my inside sources, and I have inside sources high up in the Kremlin. Yes, I'm friends with KGB officers high up in the Kremlin. And they said that Vladimir Putin loves Fats Domino, and he loves the song Blueberry Hill. And so he's adapted the song for Trump, and he's going to play it for him in the meeting. Or the body double's going to, if it's the body double, which I think it's the body double. This is going to be played for Trump in the meeting. So let's listen to a little bit of this excellent rendition of Blueberry Hill by Vladimir Putin. This is a blast from the past, right? Probably many people that follow Jake Bro, for example, they don't even know this. They've never seen this. They've never laid eyes on it. I bet you Jake Bro's never laid eyes on it. But here you go. This is awesome. Kirk Russell in the audience, big Vladimir Putin fan.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill, on Blueberry Hill. When I found you, the moon stood still on Blueberry Hill.
Isn't that awesome? That's a great Vlad. That is awesome, dude. Seriously, how cool is that? How cool is that? Well, here's the adaptation. He doesn't sound much like Fats Domino, but here's the adaptation. I'll try to sound a little bit more like Fats Domino. So it's going to go like this. You found your thrill on Capitol Hill. On Capitol Hill, you found your thrill. Right? I think that's better. I think it's better. And isn't it so appropriate? Donald Trump absolutely found his thrill on Capitol Hill, didn't he? January 6th? What a thrill it was. It was incredibly thrilling. And the Supreme Court, Comey Barrett, and Roberts and Scalia, they loved it. Thomas, they loved it. Scalia's dead, man. But from his grave, he loves it. They loved that. They loved January 6th. It was awesome. And they said, you know what? You're immune. We loved it so much that we're going to make you immune from any prosecution related to that. And in fact, do it again, Donald. Do it again and again. And this time, follow through and make sure that the vice president truly does get strung up. If you found your thrill on Capitol Hill. Vlad, a little suggestion. Next time, take the hand out of the pocket, all right? Move it around a little bit, Try to trace out a hill with your hand or something like that. It goes a long way. It really does. It goes a long way. It's a very forgiving audience there. Rightfully so, because they know if they weren't and they didn't go along with it and applaud and say, great job, that none of them would be alive right now. They would have been thrown out of a 6-story window. I won't throw you out of a 6-story window if you make fun of my rendition. Make fun of it all you want. I'm making fun of it right now. It sucked. But the point remains. Anyhow, they're going to be meeting at Elephant Dwarf Air Force Base in Anchorage, Russia. It is Anchorage, Russia. Not a lot of people think it's Anchorage, America, or Anchorage, United States. Not. It's Anchorage, Russia, folks. Let's get that straight. Our dear leader has said so. So it is Anchorage, Russia. And it's the Elephant Dwarf Air Force Base, which is absolutely appropriately named, right? Because you have the elephant and the dwarf who will be meeting. Can you guess which one's which? Cankles is the elephant, and Blueberry Hill here is the dwarf. Okay, so Elephant Dwarf Air Force Base, and I think that's why it was chosen. This location was chosen because of the name Elephant Dwarf Air Force Base. So yeah, 3:30 today. Woo! It's going to be big, folks. Big. This is so important. So important. There's going to be a lot of wife swapping going on. Oh, no, I'm sorry, land swapping going on. Melania will be there. She's going to be the translator. One of the translators, Melania. So I guess they won't be... she won't be in the room with them. She'll have the headphones on, right? So everybody that's not in the room will have the headphones on. They'll be able to listen to the elephant and the dwarf, to Trumpelstiltskin meeting with Putin's double, or the inflatable Putin dolly. So let's listen to Bolton. This trope has been going around. All the experts have been saying this. Like I said, I don't agree with this at all. This is BS. All you have to do is think, folks. Just think for a second. Where is critical thought these days? Instead of you just listening to what these people say and running with it, and then it gets passed around the internet as though, oh yeah, that's an intelligent take on it. This guy, look at this guy. This is, if you didn't know, this is Mark Twain. This is Samuel Clemens right here, okay? So yeah, here's Samuel Clemens. Samuel Clemens used to be a big fan of Maxim Gorky once upon a time, until Maxim Gorky was caught with his mistress in a New York hotel, and then Samuel Clemens said, "Oh, the immorality of it! I'm no longer a fan of yours, sir." But yeah, he looks just like Mark Twain, doesn't he? I always thought that he's a Mark Twain. He's not. He lacks the sense of humor that Mark Twain does, but he looks like Mark Twain. Anyway, Bolton. Let's listen to what Bolton has to say here.
It manifests itself in a number of ways. Putin is an international pariah leading a rogue state that committed unprovoked aggression against Ukraine.
Sorry.
Need more power?
Trump has brought him to an American military base in Alaska and put him in the center of the world spotlight in a picture of the two of them shaking hands that will be on the front page of every paper in the world the day after. That's legitimization that Putin paid no price for whatever.
It's not legitimization in the least, and Putin knows that. Yes, Putin is a world pariah. He's rejected the world by the world over. Europeans reject him. Former United States presidents and administrations rejected him. But come on, Bolton. Donald Trump is as much a pariah as Vladimir Putin is. Everyone despises him. You know they do. They tolerate him because despite the fact that America is collapsing as we speak, it is still prodigious. And they know they need it for now. So they tolerate it. But they despise him. He's a pariah. Trump is a pariah. Remember what I said about having to be in a room for 4 hours with this guy? It would be psychologically impairing. You'd have PTSD. He's as much a pariah as Vladimir Putin is. So Donald Trump cannot legitimate Vladimir Putin. He cannot rehabilitate him. He cannot platform him. Do you think because now he's having this meeting with Vladimir Putin that all of a sudden the European leaders are going to go, oh, gee, I guess Vladimir Putin's okay after all. We won't reject him any longer. We will embrace him and we'll love him and we'll have him come and sing Blueberry Hill for us. Get real, Bolton. Trump is a pariah too. And you voted for that pariah 3 times, you jackass. That alone should prohibit you from ever being on any program again to give your official take on the matter. And don't get me wrong, Bolton's intelligent. I think he's intelligent. He there's things I agree with on him with a lot of this, but not this. Not this. And if anything, Bolton's illegitimate because of his support of Trump. He's a pariah. Not only is Donald Trump a pariah like Vladimir Putin, he is a war criminal like Vladimir Putin. Both of them are war criminals. In fact, let's go a step further. All you Ukrainian supporters, Joe Biden is a war criminal, as is Kamala Harris. And I'm going to raise my hand here and say guilty as charged. I voted for Kamala Harris. I voted for a war criminal. And here's why. Because Trump, I knew, would be a war criminal too, and he would support Israel in its war crimes against the Palestinians, its genocide against the Palestinians. I knew that Trump would support that too, and I knew he would do it worse than Kamala Harris. That's the reason that I voted for Kamala Harris, because I thought it would be the lesser of that evil, despite the fact both of them are war criminals in supporting Israel in its war crimes. If you support war criminals, you're a war criminal. So the Biden administration are war criminals. That includes Kamala Harris, Antony Blinken, Joe Biden himself, despite his dementia. That's not an excuse. And the Trump administration. Hegseth is a war criminal. Marco Rubio is a war criminal. Donald Trump is a war criminal. Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal. His staff are war criminals. It's cowardice that the ICC has not charged Joe Biden and Antony Blinken with war crimes, just as the ICC should be charging Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth with war crimes, just as they charged Netanyahu with war crimes and Vladimir Putin with war crimes. They're all war criminals. Here's the principle that you apply here. Ukraine and Palestine are what's happening to them is the same thing in regard to principle. They both have been invaded. Vladimir Putin has promised to destroy Ukraine, which is in effect a promise to genocide the Ukrainians, which is exactly what Israel is doing to the Palestinians. The principle's the same, so you have to oppose the war crimes of Israel against the Palestinians just as surely as you oppose the war crimes of Putin against the Ukrainians. You have to oppose the invasion and occupation of Gaza just as you have to oppose the invasion and occupation of Ukraine. It's the same principle. And yet so many discard this principle, and therefore they oppose one of those but not the other. Take the Biden administration. They oppose the Russian invasion and occupation of or parts of Ukraine and call that war crimes, yet they support and enable Israel's invasion and occupation of Gaza and its genocide of the Palestinians and support it, enable it. They're not acting according to principle. Are you acting according to principle? If you are, you have to oppose both. That's the principle. Anyway, big day today. We're going to see, right? Woo! Yeah, I won't hold my breath. But I will pray every day as I am praying today that someone, please, someone will just do it. Someone will just do what must be done. Someone will just do it. I'll let you figure out what that means. Could mean anything, right? Let it mean what you want it to mean. And pray too that someone just do it. Like that Nike commercial, just do it. Anyway, till next time, offenders. All glory to Blueberry Hill. Take care. Bye.